What if the afterlife wasn't a place of peace but a prison? A space where the dead are left to confront their most haunting regrets, waiting for something, or someone, to finally release them. When Lucy Webb's heart stopped, she expected silence, darkness, and an end to her suffering. Instead, she found herself trapped in a world where the lines between life and death blurred, and every corner of her soul was tormented by the secrets she'd tried to bury. Lucy Webb's life had been full of movement. She was always running from her past, from her mistakes, from the deep fears she refused to face. A successful journalist with an enviable career, a beautiful apartment in the heart of the city, and friends who adored her. Outwardly, her life appeared perfect. But inside, she was a stranger to herself, hiding from a history she couldn't erase, a dark secret she thought she had long buried. It happened on a rainy Thursday night. She was sitting in her office, the soft glow of her desk lamp casting long shadows across the room. The click-clack of her keyboard was the only sound that broke the silence, as she worked late into the night on a story that had consumed her thoughts for weeks. But then, suddenly, something felt off. A sharp pain pierced through her chest. It was like a cold hand wrapping around her heart, squeezing until she couldn't breathe. Her vision blurred, her hands went numb, and just before everything went black, she heard her own heartbeat falter, then stop. When Lucy opened her eyes again, she was no longer in her office, no longer in the world she knew. She stood in the middle of a vast, empty expanse, shrouded in thick mist. The air was cold, too cold, an icy chill that sunk deep into her bones. The ground beneath her feet was soft and unsettled, like she was standing on something fragile, as if it might collapse at any moment. The distant sound of whispers reached her ears, but when she turned to locate the source, no one was there. "Hello?" Her voice echoed back to her, swallowed by the mist. It was as if she was the only living thing in a world that shouldn't exist. Her breath came faster now, panic flooding her chest. This wasn't what she had imagined. No light, no warmth, no peace. This wasn't the afterlife she had heard about, the peaceful, quiet passage into another realm. This was something else. Tried to bury yours, but here, nothing stays hidden, nothing can be forgotten. Suddenly, the ground beneath Lucy's feet gave way. She fell, and the world around her seemed to spiral into a vortex of blackness and flickering images. Faces, events, moments, memories long suppressed, flashed before her eyes. She saw the hurt she had caused her family, the betrayals she had hidden in the dark corners of her mind, the lives she had ruined in the name of ambition, the people she had ignored, the love she had abandoned, the truth she had hidden. "Stop it!" Lucy screamed, her voice breaking. But the memories kept coming. Her mother's disappointed gaze, her best friend's tearful eyes, a man who had loved her, who still loved her, even though she had cast him aside. All of them, haunting her, accusing her, tearing at her heart. "You have to face it," the woman's voice came again, soft, almost pitying. "Only then can you move on. Only then can you escape." Lucy fell to her knees, overwhelmed by the weight of her past. She had thought she could escape her guilt, but now, in this suffocating space between life and death, it was clear. There was no escaping the consequences of her choices. Not here, not now. As the weight of her own soul pressed down on her, Lucy made a decision. She couldn't undo the past, but maybe, just maybe, she could accept it. She could face the ghosts of her mistakes and let go of the guilt that had chained her to this place. The moment she accepted that truth, the ground began to shift beneath her. The darkness lifted, and the whispers stopped. The figure in front of her dissolved into mist. Lucy closed her eyes, feeling a calm she hadn't known in years. For the first time, she was free. The weight of her past had been lifted, and she was no longer bound to it. As Lucy's world of mist faded into light, she realized something. The afterlife hadn't been a punishment. It had been a chance to face what she had long avoided, to confront the demons she had buried in her soul. She didn't know what lay beyond, but one thing was clear. The only way to truly escape the past was to confront it head-on. And in that fleeting moment of peace, Lucy understood the most important lesson of all. Sometimes, the scariest place to be is the one inside your own mind.